Hi Queens, Sam here. I hope that you're doing amazing. So as you know, I'm always here on YouTube. I love to watch other content creators' videos, especially when it relates to traveling, moving abroad, finances, health. And so I was watching one of Anthony O'Neill's videos. He does produce a lot of video, but one of his recent video, I'll put the link in the description of my video below. But the title of the video was "You Can Change Your Life in 12 Months. Here's How." And then in the thumbnail, he had something very different written there. And what he had in his thumbnail was "Marriage is the key to wealth." I honestly did not see the link between that thumbnail and the title of the video, but when you watch the video, they do, like, the video is about how important it is to have healthy relationship, especially healthy marriage, and all that. And actually the video is a very good video. The guest that he had on, I can't recall his name now, but he's a pastor, the young guy on that he had as a guest, and he really shared a lot of great things, and I will strongly suggest that you watch the video. It's a good video. However, I really did not like the thumbnail. I'm gonna be very honest. First of all, I didn't like it because I didn't see the link between that thumbnail and the title of the video. And also the thumbnail, what that thumbnail said to me is not right. Right, to say that marriage is the key to wealth. From where I come, from the culture that I come, I've seen it happen many times, too many times growing up, where for women, the key to wealth was really getting into a relationship and getting married because their spouse was the key for them to actually build wealth. And so growing up, for the most part, I was lucky because my parents believed in education for all kids, regardless of the gender. But I've seen families where the parents prioritize the boys going to school and getting educated because for them, it was wasting money educating their daughters who eventually will get married to a man, and that man, is the one who was going to be responsible to take care of their daughters and help them build their future and all of those things. And we all know very well today that it doesn't work like that a lot. For the most part, growing up, I've seen so many of my mother friends or acquaintances, and having to stay in unhealthy relationship and healthy marriages because the man is the one who was providing for the family, and they had nowhere else to go because a lot of them, when they get married, especially the dad makes it clear, do not come back here. You're married. If you have anything, you deal with that with your spouse. And so many women, I'm going to say it, have said in unhealthy marriages and have gotten sick, have lost their lives, and because really they had nowhere else to go because they had no money. And so when I see a thumbnail like this saying that marriage is the key to wealth, it's triggering to me, and I think it's wrong. And honestly, I was a bit disappointed that Anthony will have something like that on the thumbnail. Of course, I know he didn't mean bad, and of course, I understand where it's coming from to say that essentially, if you get into a healthy relationship, healthy marriage, that can help you build your wealth. However, to have something, just like out of context like that, and just how out of on the thumbnail for someone who's not really like, who doesn't really think it through, could be like, okay, well, I guess, to build wealth I need to get married. And that is not true. You Listen, the key to wealth building is yourself. The key to building wealth is you. The difference, the common denominator between you being single and you being in a relationship is you. And so if you put all the weight onto your spouse core, to be like that person will be responsible for building your wealth or whatnot, well, that doesn't make sense, right? Because they may change they may not even think that like that, if you guys don't take the time to actually talk about it, and they may change their minds, and then you find yourself, without anything. And so you really don't want to be in that kind of situation. To me, everybody Whether you're single or in a relationship, you should be focusing on building wealth. If you're single, when you're single, and then when you find the right partner for you and you guys get into a relationship, then you also, talk together. And of course, if you can find someone that you are on the same page with when it comes to life and values and principles and, the everything that you guys want to achieve, yes, that will, kind of like increase exponentially your wealth building journey, of course, because then you are two people um, chasing that dream, uh, when before you were just one person. But to say that marriage is the key to wealth, to me, I totally disagree with that. And like, right now I'm single and I've built quite a bit of wealth on my own. And I know when I meet the right person, we are going to be, exponentially doing this wealth building, because we are going to be two doing the work and really, sharing the dreams and whatnot. However, I'm not sitting here and telling myself that marriage is the key to wealth, because I may or may not get married. Then what? I don't get to build the wealth? Then what? I don't even get to try to build the wealth? So your spouse is not your wealth plan. Your spouse is not your wealth plan. You should have your own wealth plan based on your own circumstances. And then when you meet the right person for you and you guys decide to get married, to take it the next level, then you have another wealth plan which is based on both of you. And again, this is not to say that the video was not a good video. It's actually a good video. I actually watched it 2 times because I really felt like he had a great guest on it. The only thing that I did not agree with, which again, again was triggering to me to the point that I felt like I needed to do this response video, is because of that thumbnail. And I know Anthony, is being very vocal on how he's really he's focused now on finding the right woman for him and all of that. And, so of course he's positioning himself, and this is great. However, I disagree with, putting out there something like that, because again, not everybody is gonna thinking through like that. And that will just continue also on some traditions or like mindset that I totally disagree with, because it's not serving black women. It's not serving black women. From my perspective, I'm gonna tell you actually something, a true story that happened to me. Actually, not to me, but like to a girl that I know and I was going to university with. We were probably in the second year of university, and she's like me from West Africa, and so she came also to Canada to study at the time, but she was struggling in her studies, and I'm someone, I love learning. And luckily I got into a degree, that I actually really enjoyed. But for her, it was different. And so I remember at one point I was with her and I was talking to her, and she was telling me how she was sharing her struggles with her parents back home, to tell them that she was having a hard time with the studies here. And her dad was not quite happy about that. But then for her mom, she was like, my mom, the only question she asked me is like, okay, the studies are not going well, but did you find someone to marry? And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah. Can you believe that's what she asked me? She was like, okay, studies are not going well. It's okay. But did you find someone to marry? And it's just to tell you that, taking in consideration, for those who have come here to study as international students, you guys know how much it is expensive to be an international student here. So for them to send their daughter to study here and pay international student fee, it's a lot of money. And even with that, the mother, the only thing that she was concerned with is, even if the studies are not going well, did you find a good man to marry? Because in her head, that man that her daughter was going to marry is the wealth building plan for her daughter. And so, again, when you have says like that, to say marriage is the key to wealth, and most of the time you'll see, like, women in that situation where they sing things like that, they're like, okay, well, to build the wealth, I guess I need to get married. Because I honestly don't think any men think like that, but a lot of women, especially black women, think like that, and that needs to change. Of course, there's been, you know progression in the past years and everything, and so we don't want to slow down that progression, right? We don't want to slow down that progression, especially with thumbnails like that and putting things like that out there. I think people need to be really, really be mindful. And again, I do not think that Anthony was thinking, anything bad when he put it out there. But again, from my perspective, with my background, things that I've seen and things that I'm really trying hard to stop, that was triggering. And so again, if you're a black woman, if building wealth is something that you want to do, you do not have to wait to be in any sort of relationship. You get started on your own where you are under with your own circumstances. And then when you meet the right person for you, you guys team up. And then you become like powerful, power team, and you go at it together. But you already start working those wealth building muscles right there and then, like now. That's what it is. Because listen, your spouse is not your wealth building plan. Marriage is not the key to wealth. That will, that may or may not help you. Actually, listen, if you end up with someone that actually is not on the same page with you and you guys don't agree or whatnot, there is no wealth building. Adalia, who's Picky Girl Traveled the World, she shares, right? She shares so many times on her channel how when she was married, I don't know, so many years into the marriage, she was having a conversation with her, spouse at the time, and she was like, "Okay, so what are we doing for retirement?" And the dude told her, "I don't know what you do for your retirement. I know what I'm doing for my retirement." And they were married for so many years by then. So how is marriage a key to wealth? There is so much that goes into it. And so the dude was already preparing his retirement. He knew that he was gonna be fine. But his wife, someone that he has been married to for so many years, with whom he had two children, that was not his problem. And that's, again, that could be also because they never had the discussion about money, but she took for granted, if we are married, we're doing this together, this life together, or we're gonna be retiring together and enjoying life in retirement together. That's not what he taught. That's not what he taught. And again, that's from her sharing. I never heard the dude's perspective. I want to put a nuance here, but it's just, again, to reinforce how it's important to get started on your own, to already know all of those little things: how to budget, how to get out of debt, save, invest, your estate planning, your insurance, all of those things. You have to already start working the muscle. And then when you meet the person, you guys team up together and you get it done. So I know maybe, I went on a rant in this video. It was so important for me to do it because I've been thinking about it and I'm like, I can't, probably my video will not get that many views as his video. However, I really felt like doing this video as a response because I want to make it clear. That's my perspective. And I know it's a perspective of a lot of Black women out there. But then again, so many women are going to see this and reinforce something that they have been told from a young age. And I'm here to tell you that ain't the case. That ain't the case at all. There was a bit of nuances to be made with that thumbnail. Just putting that thumbnail out there just like that, raw like that, I don't think that it was really the right thing to do. That's my 2 cents on that. Again, still check the video, right? So again, the title of the video is "You Can Change Your Life in 12 Months. Here's How." And you will see the thumbnail right there: Marriage is Key to Wealth. Again, I really do not see the link between the title of the video and the thumbnail, but that's what his production team decided to do. And I think you should change that thumbnail. If I have to be quite honest with you, that thumbnail needs to be changed. There you have it. If you have joined the video, don't forget again to like, to subscribe, and hit the notification bell. As I've told you guys, I'm gonna try to put more videos out here. I'm going with my own cadence. As you know, I have 3 beautiful kids I'm raising by myself. I have a full-time job. I have other things in life. So as much as I enjoy YouTube and I would love to create more content here, I have to pace myself, right? So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep on building wealth. Bye bye.